wow, we not only downgraded with the lighting and the set, but we also downgraded with the mic because I had to return that mic back to my school and I don't have one. Maybe I'll invest in one, but for right now, I think this is working. And if you're wondering what this contraption is, it is a headphone mic with tied to, if you can still hear me, tied to a marker. So I would have a little handle I could work on. But hello and welcome back to this very much yapping session with me, your host Camille Avalar, podcast number 3. I've been getting a lot of love on the first podcast episode, which is really cool. I don't want to be annoying, but I did gain 30 subscribers for some odd reason. And a lot of sweet people in the comments just tell me how they like the video. So I'm hoping those people who are subscribed or who are watching me will continue to watch. If not, that's fine. I'll still be posting videos. But yeah, today I'm not going to talk about much of a concert. Don't click off yet. Please, I promise I'll try to be funny. But I'm not going to talk about a concert just because I don't know which one to talk about yet. In the first video, I talked about how I've been to 37 concerts. And I want to tell a story that you guys want to hear. I was thinking about doing the story on Renee Rapp when I went to go see her back in October, I believe, of 2023. But I'm not sure yet. So if you want to go back and see what concerts I've been to and you want a story on one of them, please tell me. I would love to just give what the 30 people who have subscribed want to hear. But besides getting kind of that house cleaning out of the way, to address why it looks like this now, it is because I am back home, not for the summer, but for the week, which is, anyways, actually, in about, it's 11:14 p.m. right now, in about, how many minutes is that, 46 minutes, it will be my birthday, June 11th, so I came home for that, and then actually this weekend, me and my sister are heading, well, not me and my sister only, me and my sisters, two of my sisters, my mom and my aunt are actually going to Vegas, and me and my sister, only one of them, we're going to go see Adele again, which I'm so excited. That is literally the reason why we're going, is we're going to go see Adele, but we're making a trip out of it, because I will be turning 21, I'm turning 21 in 45 minutes now. So yeah, that's why I kind of look a little fancy right now, because I'm actually going to go to a casino when it turns 12, just so me and my mom can go get a drink, a little girls thing for us, which I don't drink, but it's fun. This is I feel one of the last ages, I feel it is the last age that you get granted permission to do something. And I guess for, at least in the States, for here in the States, it's like that. But today's episode, what I kind of just want to talk about was graduation and kind of the closing of chapters, if that makes any sense. Also, if I sound a little nasally, the allergies of right now are killing me. They literally came out of nowhere. Literally yesterday I woke up, I was like, my throat's kind of itchy. And then boom, I got allergy struck. And I did take 2 Zyrtec, which you're not supposed to, but I did because I literally was dying. So yeah, anyways. But to get that disclaimer out of the way, I wanted to talk about graduation season because this last week, so about I think it was the 4th through the 8th was, or it would actually be the 3rd through the, it would be 3rd through the 8th, you know what I mean, was our final season, but also graduations for UW. I've mentioned that I go there. Yeah, I do go to University of Washington, go Dogs, and Seattle. And I feel this year was the first year where I felt oh my god, I don't know, it felt different, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it. I think going the first 2 years there, yeah, you knew people who were graduating, or no, not even, I didn't know anyone who was graduating my freshman or sophomore year, and during finals week, it felt very much I have finals to do. I don't really care if you have anything else to do. I have finals I need to get through. But this year, I was just whoa, I actually know a good handful of people who are graduating, and this is striking a chord with me, because this year will be I guess it's the year obviously following into me going into my senior year and doing a bunch of last. So my last first day of school, my last football game, my last, I don't know, last fall quarter. I don't know. I'm a very sentimental person. Um, I like ask anyone. I cry for everything. I'm literally tearing up thinking about it. And it's been really weird, especially since I had a good amount of friends who were graduating this year. Three of my roommates, they graduated. And it was just so weird, like, seeing them that week and kind of, like, taking in, like, the kind of their last moments. One of my friends, actually, she's my roommate, but, you know, a friend as well. She graduated with, I think, a design degree, and so one of her finals was, you know, trying to she had to, like, come up with something, and she invited us to her showcase. And so, you know, we went to support, like, me and my roommates. And I, like, remember, like, finally seeing it. And the thing is, like, I was watching her do this. Like, we would be working in the living room together, like, you know, working. I would be working on my final, she would be working on hers. And so finally, to get to see the final product was, like, very, like, awe-striking, because, like, she explained it to us, and she is Korean American, so she kind of talked about, like, growing up in a predominantly white area, and just, like, how that affects you, and, like, your inner monologue, and how that kind of transcribes. um Anyways, to that point, basically just saying, like, when she was explaining this to us, like, I literally was getting teary-eyed, because I was like, oh wow, like, you could tell she had a lot of passion behind this project. And though it caused her a lot of stress, like, what she got done was amazing, and I'm so incredibly proud of her. And, like, same thing with my roommates. One of my roommates was literally going through hell and back health wise. She was just on the go for so long that, like, her health was really kicking her in the ass, and she pulled through, and, like, obviously she graduated. And then my other roommate, she's literally never not doing something. It's actually crazy. Like, we always joke about her Google Calendar is quite, like, you will know where she is if you look at her Google Calendar, which is just so funny to me. But, like, she just, like, worked her ass off, and, like, she got it done, you know, basically. So it was really interesting to see that. And also, I had a friend who also graduated. I've talked about him before. His name's Carson. And honestly, like, oh my god, I'm literally getting teary-eyed. Holy shit. I need to reel it in. I'm so glad our paths crossed my time here at UW. Oh my god, I need to stop. um, Let me collect myself. I met him through a mutual friend, and I had seen of him. I always like to joke that he is, like, he is literally like a campus celebrity, which I absolutely love, because whenever I'm walking with that man, we are gonna get stopped at least 10 times for people to be like, oh my god, Carson, like, hi, haven't seen you. And it's just so funny, and I absolutely love it. Like, we could be anywhere in Seattle and this man will get stopped, and I literally love it. But I met him through a mutual friend, and, like, he cannot, like, he clicks with everyone. Like, it could be literally any person in the entire world, and he will find a way to, like, engage with you in a way that is, like, fulfilling for both of you. Like, it's never fake, if that makes sense. And this year he graduated a year early. He graduated, like, 2021, but he graduated a year early because he got shit done. And it was just really surreal to think about how, like, this chapter is, like, closing, and, like, his new one is opening, and I get to, like, view that for him. I think also, like, this kind of relationship hit me in a way of, like, oh wow, like, the people I'm gonna, I don't know how to let me find the words. More of, like, I let me pause and kind of give preface, because my mind's running a lot. But I saw a TikTok. This will tie back into Carson. I'll get back to him. But I saw a TikTok where, like, they had, you know, like, a little graduation party with all their friends, and they had, like, a yearbook on the wall, and basically saying, like, someone said HGL. So instead of hags, they read, like, I guess haggle, which is, like, have a good life. And I think that kind of sums up the relationships you have in college. Though obviously that does not apply to each and every one of you, like, every person or each and every relationship. A lot of the people you come and connect with, you will not have that same kind of connection again outside of it. Especially since, tying this back to Carson's from Maryland, all the way on the East Coast. I don't even know how he got here, but he's all the way on the East Coast. And he's, like, you know, planning on moving back, and, like, he graduated with a biology degree, which is so insanely, like, insane to me, because I just never knew how he had the time to do this. Mind you, he was also a student athlete. Like, truly, he is like basically a god to me. Like, I don't even know how he did it. But like, him moving away, like, I don't know the next time like I'll see him. Luckily, before I get a little too sappy, we have the summer. Like, I said I'm home for like right now, but I still have my place up in Seattle, so I'll be like kind of going back and forth. So this is not the official set forever. We'll be back to our Harry Styles, Billy, Sabrina Carpenter posters in the wall. But anyways, we still have the summer, so I can still see him. I can still hang out with him. And, I could always visit him. Like, I know that man would always be down for me to visit. But it's just different. I think that's what's really important to highlight. So that's going to be different. Which I find so astonishing. But also, kind of, just to reflect on my point, I was talking to a friend, and me and her are in a club called Mecha, and this was our first year being on executive board, but this was also our first year where we were saying goodbye to seniors that we knew as well. And that in itself was also crazy, because I was like, holy shit, like, we've known these people since like the beginning of our careers, and like now we're saying bye to them. And those are the kind of people that I don't know when I'm gonna see again, because it's not like we ever had like a tight connection. Like, I hung out with them on the weekends or anything. It was like we went to a same club every day. I got to know them, they got to know me, we got to talk about school, but like outside of that, we were just really, friends in the organization, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with only like being friends like through something or with in a certain way. I think that that's the human life experience. I'm getting too like ooey wooey here, but we had to say goodbye to like the seniors who were graduating this year, and it hit different again, because we were like, holy shit, this is gonna be us next year. Like, what? It is so weird to think about. Just like another chapter closing, because I think, and I talked about this with my friend Danny, how this chapter closing is very different than like a high school chapter closing, especially for me, because my high school, like almost everyone I graduated with, I would say at least 50% of my graduating class, I had gone to school with since kindergarten. Like, we quite literally went to kindergarten, primary, elementary, middle school, high school. Like, we went all of those years, we went together. And so those people, I run into my local Walmart, like, and I say hi to them. So saying that kind of goodbye is very different, because it's like we all still have the same home base of my town. Like, that is all of our home bases. And again, for Seattle, like, it's not necessarily a home base for us. Like, it's a place that we chose to go. Like, we chose am I saying that right? Chose to go there? No. Chose to went there? I'm gonna leave that sentence as is. But we chose basically to go to this university. And the only thing that's tying us to there is us. There's no home base there. So saying goodbye to these people, it's like a tie that could be unknotted and tied somewhere else. Again, I'm getting a little bit too philosophical. But it just has me thinking for the last couple days about that. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about graduation and all that, and how that's been like kind of affecting my brain, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a shorter podcast episode. I know I don't really know what to say. I feel like I've said my piece about graduation. What I will say, actually, one last thing that I will add was that, like I said, I'm a very sentimental person. I will literally cry for everything. And one thing I did this year was that because again, like, not necessarily I'm never going to see these people again, because a lot of people who I had do it, I'm definitely seeing next year. But I was like, we need to bring back yearbooks, because whoever told us to stop having yearbooks? I know some universities still do that, which I find really cool. But the University of Washington doesn't. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a yearbook. by make a yearbook, I mean, like, I had a notebook and I just had my friends write in it. So, like, that's what I meant by, like, make a yearbook. So that's exactly what I did. I literally had an extra notebook and I asked my friends to write in it, and then I actually took like a little Polaroid picture of them and I put it on their page. But I not only asked my friends to write in it, I asked my professors to write in it. And, and if there's one thing I can say about college is that you will not know every single professor on like a deep, intimate level. And again, I'm speaking from an experience of that. There's 50,000 undergraduate students that go to my school, so it's a pretty big campus. So like, though you can interact and be like, oh, thank you for lecture, like stuff like that, or like go to their office hours. I'm talking about like those 200-person lectures where it's like you really don't have a connection with your professor, which is totally fine. That's up to you if you want to make a connection with that professor. And I would say I tried my best to make a connection with every professor, even if it's like I pop into their office hour once during the semester. But like, that once they can remember that. And specifically one of my professors, like, not to be a nerd, but I literally sit in the very front of the classroom just because it keeps me engaged. Because if I'm in the back, I'm gonna be like scrolling on Instagram on my laptop, like, sorry. So in the front, it kind of gives me a little more of like accountability. But I like sit in the front, I gauge during class. But like, I never went to her office hours. I never really talked to her outside of class. But she was a really inspiring professor and I really loved her. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to ask her to write in my yearbook, which is actually a crazy statement. Like, imagine like going up to your professor and being like, hey, can you sign my yearbook? What? I need to sneeze. If he said bless you, thank you. But anyways, so after class one day, I like asked her, I was like, hey, so like I'm doing like a really silly thing. I literally preface it like exact way I'm telling you. I was like, I'm doing a really silly thing where I actually have a yearbook, and basically I'm asking professors to write like encouraging messages from my last year in college, or like for next year, or just like life advice, like really whatever you want it to be. If you don't, and I always preface like, if you don't want to write in it, if you don't think that you should, please by all means say no. Like, it's not like a requirement, obviously. Like, obviously they know they have their own autonomy, but I just wanted to give them that room to say no. But she was like, yeah, just like ask me after class. And I was like, okay. So after class, she like, she came up to me, she's like, okay, like I can sign it. I was like, awesome. And so she wrote me actually a very sweet message, mind you. Like, I don't know, she was just very nice, and she was like very like, oh, so like what are you doing this for, like is it only for you? And I was like, oh yeah, it's only for me. I just like wanted to do this because, again, I said like I'm a very sentimental person, which I am. I clearly have a whole podcast episode of what I did last year for my birthday that results in me like sobbing for multiple hours, in a good way. But so she wrote in it, which gave me the courage to ask my other professor. So I asked one of my other professors. Her I actually like bonded with. She knew my name. It was a very small lecture though. This one was literally only 17 people. So I asked her to write in it, and then I asked one of my other professors to write in it, and then I also asked one of my advisors because I love that advisor. He's awesome. He really got me through this last year of like really pushing me outside my comfort zone, which was really much. It was very needed. But yeah, so I asked all of basically that, and then all my friends, which I'm very happy I did because, again, bringing back yearbooks. When did we stop having yearbooks? But yeah, so I guess that I will conclude with. Sorry that this episode really didn't involve concerts. I obviously love talking about concerts. I love talking about anything. But I wanted to have this documented. By the time I post this, I'll already be 21. I'm hoping to post this before I leave for Vegas, because I will be vlogging both my birthday, that is in 29 minutes. I'll be vlogging my birthday because I always vlog my birthday. I love my birthday. Sorry. I also want to talk about that, about how much I think we need to talk about people who love their birthdays, because it's seen as a bad thing, but why? But anyways, that's another conversation for another day. And then I also will be vlogging in Vegas, which obviously I'll be at a concert there. So we have all of that wrapped up. But besides that, literally, this could also get like 20 views, but thank you for so much love on the first episode. It literally, I cannot like describe enough how much of like a fuck it, let's do it mindset I had doing that, and I did not expect to get that many views. It's over 1K views right now, which is kind of crazy considering all of my videos are like under 50 views, which is totally fine. I love just to post. But yeah, thank you for commenting and subscribing. It's really cool. I hope that you like this content. If not, I'm probably still gonna post it. So anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that I should talk more about than just concerts. And if you just want concerts, you can also let me know. Type in the comments what concert you want me to talk about, because if you want a certain concert, I will give it to you. And for and then also subscribe if you want to subscribe to me. I do want to dedicate this episode to someone. I love a little dedication part at the very end. Also, I'm so sorry if the audio has been shit. Like, again, I just like I'm sorry, that was mean. But I am gonna dedicate this episode to someone. I have a someone in mind, but let me find them first. Okay, yeah, I will dedicate to these two people. Or no, three actually. Two. Come on, let's go. Their name is Kaylin Morse. They commented on my last video and they wanted a part 3. Again, sorry if this is not the part 3 you're expecting, but hey, I'm dedicating this episode to you. And the second person I'm dedicating this episode to is Mini Version. They said they're from the UK. What are you doing here? Also, hello, love. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm ending the episode now. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.